Stabicraft boats continue to lead the market for their safety, stability and innovation. This is a brand new model by Stabicraft called the 2350 Ultra Centrecab and certainly leads the market in this particular space. I'm Mark Golden, I'm the specialist at Northside Marine for our Stabicraft boats. Absolutely love this brand and I've been involved for almost 10 years. This is one of the best models that I've ever seen them bring out, and I'm going to run you through today all of the major features of this new model. Larger fuel tank, bigger horsepower, more options. Just wait till you see what I can show you on this boat. We're out here on the water on a beautiful day, actually probably too good to test the rough water capabilities of this boat, but we just want to showcase this beautiful new 2350 Ultra Centrecab model by Stabicraft. So a few changes to the previous model, which was the 2250 Ultra Centrecab. Obviously slightly longer boat, but it's given us a lot more features as far as they've shared a lot of the options available on the 2350 Super Cab now onto this new platform. So a number of options, including this beautiful bow light. So that's just been incorporated again from the 2350 Super Cab. But one of the major features of this boat that continue to be a successful selling boat is just this walk around. So being a center cabin boat, it's still a very large cabin, as you'll see, and you can easily, accommodate 6 or even more adults within that cabin. But then you've still got this ability to get up the front of the boat. I've got a stick bait sort of right here ready to go. The idea is that basically you can access this boat. If you've got a fish on, you can safely navigate around the boat, and you'll see this massive big chunky bow rail. So that actually sort of sits right nicely in your thigh, locks you into this boat. So the safe navigation around the boat, obviously Stabicraft are very stable, so that helps as well. But I can actually come up here, stand up on a front casting platform, even if it was a bit rougher today, and still feel very safe and comfortable up here. And if there was tuna or something sitting around here, we'd certainly be having a go at those. But many new features, but the center cabin and the walk around is certainly one of the biggest selling points for this particular model. This massive new bow mount plate option from Stabicraft is designed to accommodate all the new electric motors with their bigger footprint. So these new electric motors are actually very torquey and put a lot of stresses on the front of the boat. So this is highly engineered, very strong, and it's going to allow for any of the different brands, whether it be Garmin, Minn Kota or many of the others, to be able to accommodate on the side of this boat. So another aspect for ultimate fishability for this model. Now Stabicraft are very smart. They actually give customers a lot of option to set the boat up to way you want. So on this one, what we've done is we've gone with the game transom. So there are a few options with the transoms on the 2350 range. Important to know what you're going to get. So this one being the game transom gives you these top 2 drawers. So these are a very high quality Plastech built drawer system. So obviously really handy for all your tackle, leaders, everything else can be right here. There's a very good quality water seal around these drawers. So with the game transom you get those 2 tackle drawers, and then you have the option for either an open area here for an ice box, but we've actually gone with a battery compartment. So what that does is that just gives us the ability for all of our batteries to be raised and in a waterproof compartment. Additional circuit breakers and switches can be added very easily. And yeah, so with the game transom you then also get a very large live well or a live well with 2 tuna tubes. Now we just went with the large live well and it's actually remarkably big, this live well. Chuck a net in there, it's probably so big you'll have to catch liveys, but yeah, very handy sort of system. And then with the game transom as well, we have this additional seat, but that actually also pushes in, so I can run right into the back of this corner, obviously for fishing. But another addition on the new options available for this is these new cages with the twin drop-down ladders on the back. So Obviously, I can then stand out the back of the boat, and that just gives me additional fishing room. But there's been a lot of occasions where this area out the back is very handy. Think about snorkeling, diving, spearfishing, all those sorts of things. And with the new 2350, which will be different to the previous 2250, there's far more room here on the transom. So from walking from cage to cage, I have a huge amount of room. So one of the other options for transoms is to have a centrally located live well, which is here, and then we can have those slide-in seats and walk-throughs on both sides. So just depending on how you want to do it, and if you want to run the cages, have good access to them, or just walk across. But certainly with these dual fold-down ladders, been a very popular option with our customers. So definitely have a look at that. And then this guy. So this is definitely an option, not a standard feature on any of the 2350s, but with this very good quality handle here, that's actually a set of fold-down stairs. So for really good access, you'll see at the boat ramp, that sort of thing. There is also the ability for bringing larger fish into the boat, but even just jumping in and out, kids are going to love this sort of option as well. So heaps and heaps of features of this new door. When not in use, that just locks away very quickly and very easily. So another really handy feature that Stabicraft have brought out. And a popular option you'll see on a lot of brands of boats, these are the 360 Evolution rod holders. So pressing a button, allowing these to swivel. You've got a few different options with rod positions, but things like bent bud rods and stuff like that, that's going to become very handy. So yeah, just a whole heap of new features. It is very similar to the previous model, but with the larger fuel tank, ability for twin or single engine on the back, new cages, different transom options. They've unified the whole 2350 range. So whether it be the Supercab, this Ultra Centrecab package, or even the walkthrough, you can share a lot of these features, dive door, cages, etc. So well done Stabicraft. They just keep innovating. They keep bringing out some of these really good features that are going to come very handy when you're out on the water with you and your family, or even fishing hardcore. So excellent features. I love to see them keep bringing them out. Now we've paired this boat with a Yamaha 300 horsepower. So when you see on the back of this transom, this one's now fitted out with Helmmaster, which reduces the number of cables and everything and hydraulic lines. So with this larger transom that Stabicraft offer on the 2350, with that single loom, it's just neatened up this transom. Very easy for me to walk across and access both sides of the back of the boat. So really nice new feature, cleaned it all up, and that's with the new Yamaha Helmmaster system. This is the brand new rocket launcher. So it's a double row rocket launcher, giving you 11 rod storage. But this boat's got rod holders in the coamings, rod holders on the bait board, rod holders in the bow. So yeah, plenty of rod storage, but a very convenient place to keep all your rods out and protected for while you're not in use. Now another smart feature, being that this is an Ultra Centrecab, is that they need to provide access around the boat. So obviously being a really well appointed rail and guide system to get around the boat, they've also added these little stairs and a very smart section for where we can run all the rigging and motor loom and everything through here underneath, and then back up these pillars into where they need to get to. So with the use of these stairs, I don't even have to use my hands. I can safely navigate around this boat and then lock into this rail to get around the boat without even having to touch anything. So if I was onto a nice big fish, something like that, I could very easily maneuver around this boat, not having to really touch the boat at any time. So obviously we've talked about the fishability, the 360 access through the walk around on this boat, but one thing that I keep getting the comment on from people that get to see this new model is it's surprising just how big the internal area of this cabin is. So obviously we've taken out some of the boat to give that beautiful walk around and the fishability that this has, but I can really get 6 adults or more in this cabin, and when you actually get in here, it's probably more spacious than you think. So there's some really good features. We'll show you some of those. New pockets, heaps of lighting, rear lighting, but also some really nicely appointed interior lighting. There's some rod holders that they've now introduced to this new model. The suspension seats that have been very, very popular out of the Supercab, they've now been added to the Ultra Centrecab package. So heaps of features, but the one surprising thing is that this is still a fairly big cabin, and if we had to, imagine in some really rough conditions, we can slide out these ice boxes out of our way, and we can really pile some people into this cabin. So there is a number of different ways you can set up the inside of this cabin. So we have some seat box options. Now you'll see that I've just gone with some twin ice box option here, so you've got ability for food or fish, but there are a number of different seating options, including actually a small pie warmer and fridge from the factory. So again, Stabicraft are trying to give the ultimate choice to the end customer, and you can set up the boat whether it not be a full open style cabin like I've gone with here, or we can get some really nicely fixed seat boxes for additional storage, a few different options. But yeah, when you take these ice boxes out, a huge amount of room. So just to finish off the back of this cabin, this is the Profish model. So remembering that there are 3 of the 2350 Ultra Centrecab package. This is the top spec. This does come standard in a Profish with a rear drop curtain. So on a really cold day, which it certainly is not today, I've got the ability to zip up the cab, trap any heat sort of in there. On a beautiful Queensland summer's day like today, we certainly don't need to worry about that, but it just gives us an added sort of protection for those times of the year when we want that. So yeah, plenty of cool new features on the actual cabin itself, and we'll run you through some of the internal features of it as well. We're now inside the cabin of the 2350 Ultra Centrecab, and a few new features of this model that were not on the 2250. Firstly, we've got the new suspension seats. So very well received. Everyone seems to love them. This is a great riding, soft riding boat, but you go and add some additional suspension seats as well. It just can't get any better than that. So some new seats in here. You do have a slightly further raked screen forward, so it's a little bit sharper than the previous 2250, but one of the things that we always love about the Centrecab is just unbelievable vision through from a driver and passenger point of view. I can see the water pretty much everywhere around the bow of this boat, so great visibility, heaps of room in here. It feels very roomy, even though obviously we've lost some of the cabin space for the walk around. We still have a pretty good berth area here. So one of the smart things that they've done to try and not take up too much of the cabin space is that they've actually made it as an extension. So if I just fold down the actual bed itself, and I'll jump in there, but this has a fold across piece that sort of fills in. That's now the bed itself, and not a huge bed. I'm 6'2", but if I had to, I could certainly, have a lie down in here. So again, it's all compromised to give you that 360 fishability with the actual Centrecab. But again, if you check this out, it's actually quite a big, spacious cabin. So this can obviously be folded up out of the way when not in use. And yeah, just a great appointed cabin. Heaps of room here. We could fit a 16 or two 12-inch screens in the dash. We've got plenty of room to fit additional electronics, which certainly will be done in time on this boat. These are some new sort of rod holders that they've put inside the cabin. So just if you're wanting to keep some rod storage inside for any reason. Obviously large sliding windows for ventilation, so that's a good thing in this warm climate that we live in. They've gone with some nice U-deck on the side of the internal cabin, so you can actually option to put that right through the whole V-berth area as well. But this is just a nicely finished sort of product, and a little bit different to the previous 2250 Ultra Centrecab. There's a whole heap of new storage drawers. They've just increased the styling a little bit, so new storage area here, a well-appointed cup holder, some additional 12-volt sockets. Now with this one, we've gone just the portable toilet option, so not an electric toilet. And then that just gives you a little fold-down privacy curtain. So if you had the girls on board, you've got that option as well. So yeah, lots of different ways you can set this up depending on if you're planning on doing overnight stays or just day trips. Another feature I'm loving on all the new 2350s from Stabicraft is this central grab rail. So very strong, very well sort of set up. So if you did have any extra guests on the boat, it was a rough day or anything like that, everyone's wanting to hang on. This is an excellent grab rail. They've also put some lighting in here, which is very handy. But you will notice that there's huge number of grab rails on all Stabicraft, but this is just a new one that's very handy. And when I've been out on the water in the 2350, this has certainly come in handy. Now, all of the 2350s from Stabicraft also have this kill tank in the floor. So between the two helm seats, you've got a very large kill tank, and this is a true kill tank. It certainly does flood at rest and then drains underway. So you can bleed fish in here, you can use it for an actual kill tank, or many others may just use this as a very nice large sort of underfloor storage area. So snorkeling gear, dive gear, ropes, wet gear itself. But yeah, just another thing. And this is now standard little gas strut on all of the 2350 from Stabicraft. Now, this new 2350 hull that Stabicraft have come out with is really the best riding Stabicraft hull of this sort of size class that they've ever brought out. And we're about to get up and on a plane in this sort of chop today, and it's just such a beautiful boat to drive. The performance and handling of this is, as with all Stabicraft, is good, but I really love this boat. It's just that next level of performance to what we're used to previously. So very soft riding, which is what you always want, but still really high performance. You just feel so safe and comfortable in these 2350s. So it feels at the moment like I'm driving a tank, and it's just, you just feel like basically no matter what the weather does, this boat will always get you home nice and safe. So a really good thing about Stabicraft, but even more so on this new 2350 hull. Now, we're running a 300 horsepower Yamaha single engine on the back of this boat, and right now I'm actually achieving 1.5 kilometers per litre. And we're doing around about 43, 45 kilometres an hour. So a very economical speed for us to sit on. It's actually touching on 1.6 at times, so very economical for a 300 horsepower boat. If I put the hammer down like I did just then, you will notice that does reduce your fuel economy a little bit. We're now sitting on 1.2 at 55 kilometres an hour. So a little bit more sporty, but certainly if you're wanting to, you can achieve it, you know, about 1.5 kilometres per litre. So even when I'm driving pretty crazy like I am now, this boat handles amazing, and the bite that it has in the water, we're currently doing around about 65 k's an hour, and I'm throwing this big girl around, but it just wants to hold a line like you wouldn't believe. So sort of like it's on rails, but you don't have to drive like that, but certainly if you want to, it's a bit of fun. Now, there's a bit of chop out here today, so we're testing out the boat, but we're currently sitting on about 80 kilometres an hour, which is about the top speed for this boat, and still handles unbelievably well. So we've had a great day out on the water today testing this new 2350 Ultra Centrecab model. So this morning when we got out, it was nice and flat, and we were able to do some really high performance testing. This afternoon it's blown up, there's white caps out there, and we just had a good run home, really able to test out this boat. But if you have enjoyed this video, you're interested in one of these new models, make sure to contact us at Northside Marine. You can either contact us through our website or email or via the phone. So we've generally got some 2350 Super Cab or Ultra Centrecab packages back at work to display, and if you get a chance, you've got to get out on the water, because that's where they really showcase how good these new model boats are. So 2350 Ultra Centrecab, make sure you check it out. Thanks again for watching.